In this video, we are going to be opening up 2 Imperial Assault battle maps and asking the question, how can we use these for our wargaming? Hello gamers, Matthew here from Grey Army Gaming in lovely Fågelund, Sweden. In this video, we are going to do something of a review slash unboxing in which we look at a couple of older products from Fantasy Flight Games, more specifically their Star Wars Imperial Assault line. I have with me today 2 battle mats. One is the Navanian Warzone and the other one is the Training Ground. A few months ago, I came across a video on Old Hammered where they had been using one of these kinds of mats for their Star Wars miniatures games. And this got me thinking about the possibility of using these mats for my own Star Wars miniatures games, but also for role-playing in general. Now, because this is an older game and I'm not even sure if it's supported anymore, I don't believe so, I know it's possible to buy these mats fairly cheaply at game stores or on eBay. So the question that I want to ask for you, for the viewer today is it worth picking up some of these for your own role-playing and war games? Is it worth spending $20, $30 in order to pick up one of these mats? Well, that's the question we will take up today as we look at the quality, we look at the design, and we look at the possibilities for gaming. Well, let's go ahead and dive into the mats themselves. All right, here are our 2 battle mats. Let's go ahead and open them up and see what is inside. Before we look at the mats themselves, we can just quickly look at the cards. These are not going to be important for you if you're playing role-playing or Star Wars miniatures, but if you're playing Imperial Assault, then obviously you want to have these cards. On the left there, we have the Training Ground. There's a couple of mission cards. Deception Game is one of them, and Reprogrammed is the other one, with instructions for how to set up the scenario and to play it out. Over on the right side, we have the Navanian Warzone, or the Navanian Warzone, and we have the Constant Motion card and the Fallout card. So once again, if you're playing Imperial Assault, these will be great for you. Otherwise, you can set them aside and just focus on the mat. All right, here's a look at our first mat, the Navanian Warzone. And the first thing that I'm struck by is that the colors are actually pretty good. They're pretty rich. It's a very nice print. One thing that's interesting, though, is it's quite thin. I mean, this is it's not a very thick battle mat. If you're used to these like 2mm neoprene, this is probably more like 1mm, so it's not as hefty as other battle mats that you might have. Now, I think the whole mat here is supposed to be 26 by 26, but the actual playing area here, when I measured it out, is about 20 inches. It's broken up into these little squares that are 1-inch squares that will fit perfectly with your figurines. This is the kind of ice theme, snowy kind of theme. You see there's some crashed speeder here, for example, some indoor, some outdoor parts. Yeah, it looks really interesting, kind of fun. I think you could really have a good time playing a quick sort of tiny little skirmish game with maybe 2, 3, 4 figurines. I've got some ideas in the future for how to do that. Really cool. I mean, you might, if you don't want to have all this extra printing, you might have to cover up these parts over here. I still do think it's kind of cool with the figurines like Darth Vader right here. And if you're playing, of course, Imperial Assault, you're going to want to have these maps over here to show you different possibilities for setup and for different zones. But if you're just playing role-playing or other skirmish games, then this is probably good enough as it is. All in all, I'm pretty impressed with it. I think I can put this to some good use, maybe as a continuation of a Hoth game where you have a bigger battle and then you get into a building and then you have a very close encountered skirmish between a few figurines. In that case, this would be really cool. And second, now we have the Training Ground mat. I'm going to flip it around and put the setup mat over on this side instead. Same exact quality as far as thickness and stuff. Really good print. I think this design is actually even cooler than the other one. It looks like we have some sort of really cool kind of foresty, swampy kind of area here in these outdoor areas. Some ruined temples, old steps, kind of pillars leading up into these more sci-fi kind of areas here in the middle. I like the fact that there's a lot of different rooms and there's a lot of different areas here, so there's a lot more possibilities for moving around, for hiding, a little bit of a bigger map. I know that a bunch of the other maps are even larger than this one, and there's a lot of different possibilities. I don't know exactly how many maps Imperial Assault has put out, but there's quite a few out there. But I really like this one. I think this could be a really good battle mat to play another tight skirmish game. And once again, we could play something like a large-scale Hoth battle or something like that, where you're out here in the wooded areas, and then eventually the battle moves into the training ground facility itself, where a smaller band of warriors comes in to finish off the final mission for the battle report. So that could be really cool. I could also see this being a really good battle mat for a futuristic sci-fi kind of role-playing game. I think there's a lot of possibilities here. Once again, the print is really nice. It's pretty sharp colors. All in all, I think this is really cool. Like I said before, if you're able to pick these up for a really bargain price, then I think there's no reason why you couldn't use this for your role-playing. You could even set up 3D terrain on this and have an even more immersive battlefield if you'd like. Something I will probably try in the future with some of our battle reports. To summarize then, I can say that these are pretty quality mats. They're not super thick, but I think that the material is good, that they will last and be quite hardy in your games. The printing is nice, the colors are nice, there's some really interesting design features. One thing I think that would be really cool with these mats that I'll experiment with in the future is actually adding other elements like 3D terrain and other dungeon tiles to expand them out. In this sense, I think you're not stuck with this simple design that they give you, but you can use these designs as a base in order to build out all sorts of different kinds of setups for your different campaigns and for your different skirmish games. In this sense, there's a lot of possibilities here, and I think that these could actually be really good mats to use. If you're looking to spend $30 to $40, I would say it's probably not worth your money. However, if you're able to pick these up at clearance or bargain prices for $10, $15, $20, then it probably wouldn't be a bad idea to pick up one or two and have them in your gaming toolkit. They're really easy to throw down and throw some terrain on, and you've got yourself a ready-made game with some cool features for your wargaming and role-playing games. Well, there you have it, folks. A quick look at two skirmish maps from the Imperial Assault line from Fantasy Flight Games, the Navanian Warzone, and the Training Ground. Hopefully this review and unboxing is helpful for you as you move forward in your own wargaming and role-playing. If you appreciate this kind of content, please do give me a thumbs up, leave a comment below, and subscribe, and I'll be sure to include more of this content on the channel in the future. But most of all, thank you for joining us here today at Grey Army Gaming for the future of gaming.
Ta-da!